Hi, this is Mike from Street Moto Z. Today we're going to replace the front tire on this beautiful 2023 Ninja 650. The front tire I'm going to use is a Michelin Power GP2. I've got a Michelin Power GP2 on the back. The size of the front tire is 120/70 ZR17. I'm going to take you through every step of the way to replace the tire. We're going to take the wheel off the bike, place the wheel down. We're going to take the tire off the wheel. We're going to put this new tire on the wheel. We're going to balance it, put it back on the bike. Every step of the way. Hope you enjoy. These are the tools we're going to be using today. I've got metric sockets, ratchet, a torque wrench, a rubber mallet, a set of Allen sockets, an 8-inch C-clamp, some synthetic grease, a tire pressure gauge, 3 tire spoons, 2 rim protectors, some tape, some stick-on weights, a precision wheel balancing tool, water mixed with Dawn soap in a spray bottle, some rags, some gloves, and a couple of motorcycle stands, otherwise in England known as paddock stands. First step, put your tire out in the sun to warm it up. It'll make it easier to put on the wheel. And step 2, raise the bike on stands. Be sure to always raise the bike on the back stand first and then the front stand afterwards. And I like to keep my kickstand down because I've dropped a bike once before taking it off the stands without the kickstand. Step 3, remove the brake mount bolts from each side of the bike. Takes a 12mm socket. I just let the brake caliper hang from the brake line. They're really light. I don't think they do any damage to the brake line whatsoever. Step 4, loosen the front axle pinch bolt. Takes a 6mm Allen socket. Some people call it a hex socket. Step 5, remove the front axle bolt. End wheel takes 14mm Allen socket. And it takes a lot of untwisting for this guy. There's a lot of threads. Once you think you have it out, it needs to be untwisted some more. That's how it goes. There we go. Saw a little corrosion on the end of that. We'll fix that. And there's the spacers. They're the same size on each side of the wheel, so don't get worried about mixing those up on the Ninja 650. I use this method, the plywood with raised bricks, and I use this method to use a C-clamp and pry the tire off the bike. There's a lot of different ways to do that. So take the air out of the tire and get the weights off the wheel. Step 7, use an 8-inch C-clamp and release the top bead off the wheel. There's a bead on each side of the tire and it fastens to each side of the wheel. We're going to remove the first bead here, and it gets a little slippery on the 8-inch C-clamp and the tire. I wipe it off after I spray around there to try to lube up that bead so it comes off gently. Step 8, remove the loosened tire bead from the wheel. And be careful here, don't scratch the rim. The rim is paint. It's pretty tough paint. And tire spoons are pretty smooth, but they still can scratch, so be careful here. I actually use a little bit of a rag to help because I only have 2 rim protectors. You get started on one little section of the tire and just work yourself around the tire. I'm going clockwise around the tire right now. And front tires are a little tougher than rear tires, I guess because they're more narrow. And the tires are pretty tough, pretty strong. I don't do this extremely often, so I'm a little bit slow at what I'm doing, but you know what? I do quality 1. Make sure I do the best quality job I can. If it takes a little bit longer, that's okay. You know you're riding on a solid bike. Step 9, flip that wheel and loosen the second tire bead from the wheel. Again, this is going to take a little bit of spray. of the Dawn and water mix in a spray bottle. Get that 8-inch C-clamp on the tire and press that second bead off the rim. Once you push one side of the bead off, you can press down and release the rest of the bead. Step 10, remove the second tire bead from the wheel, which removes the entire tire. This is a little bit unwieldy, kind of a little awkward. I don't know why, it just always is. Spray some of that water and soap on the tire bead and it'll help it slip off of the rim. Again, work yourself from one spot around the tire. And once you get a bit of it done, maybe about 30-40%, you can just pull the rim right off the tire. Now it's time to put the new tire on the rim. Lube it up a little bit with that soap and water spray, that first bead. And sometimes you can just push that first bead right on the rim without having to use any of the tire spoons. Be super careful and get that tire direction correctly on the rim. You can tell which side of the rim is the left or the right by the wheel speed sensor plate. It's a little plate with a bunch of little holes all the way around it. I could have pushed the first bead on the rim if I had enough soap on that first bead and around the rim, but I'm giving it a bit of a wrestle here. We're going to get it on there though. The tire should have a direction arrow on it also, and once you get that direction correct on the rim, you're good. One other thing, this is a Michelin tire. It doesn't have this, but some other tires may have a dot on it, colored dot, and you want to put that dot where the air nozzle is on the rim. Step 12, this is the hardest step, to put the second bead of the tire on the wheel. You want to get the bottom, I'm going to call that where my knee is. I'm going to call that the 6 o'clock. You want to get that 6 o'clock part of the tire in the channel of the rim. And keep it in the channel of the rim. And then you're going to work each side. The 3 o'clock, the 9 o'clock, you're going to start working them. Try to get one small bit of a tire at a time. Just a little bit, maybe about 2 or 3 inches. 2 or 3 inches here, 2 or 3 inches next, 2 or 3 inches. And as you slide one part of the bead on the rim, maybe 3 inches of the bead on the rim, move your knee up and hold it in place and pin it kind of like a WWE wrestler. You gotta wrestle this tire on a bit. Scoot that knee up, and again, make sure that bottom part of the tire stays in the rim channel. Get your knees back up in position. Pull a little bit of that bead onto the rim and slide your knee up on that side, like I'm doing here. And as you work both sides up to that 12 o'clock position, you're going to have about 10 inches, that second bead to pull over the tire and just pop the whole 10 inches over at one time. Step 13 is to use that soapy water and lube up that area between the tire and the rim, and then start filling the tire full of air. You saw some bubbles forming. I'm manipulating the tire a little bit to stop those bubbles from forming. And once it gets a good seal, it will continue to fill full of air. There may be one section that doesn't lock in place, and I pumped this guy up to about 50 psi. I didn't want to go past that, so I was banging on one section and it finally popped in place. And just clean things up. Now I've got too much air in the tire, so I adjust it down to about 32 psi. Step 15, balance the wheel. I use sticky weights on the wheel. I don't like the clip-on weights because they seem to chip the paint on the rims. And the sticky weights seem to work pretty good. And you can adjust them, add to it, take away from it. It's really convenient. This is a simple wheel balancing tool that I bought online. And basically I put the heavy end on the side. I try to find out where the heaviest end is, which ends up on the bottom of the tool. And then I mark the top. That's where the weights are going to go. And I just make sure that that is the location of the lightest part of the wheel. I will then use some tape and place a bit of weight on the lightest part. I placed about 3/4 of an ounce there, and it seemed to balance the tire out really nicely. If it's too heavy, lighten the load. If it's too light, then add a little bit more weight. Step 16 is clean the wheel spacers, front axle, wheel hub, and grease them. It's good to get that dirt and old grease and any grime off of all of that equipment, and then apply some fresh grease. On the hub, what I do is I try to wipe the inside and get out as much of the dark used up grease that I can. And here, cleaning the axle, you can see a little bit of corrosion, that white chalky substance. I try to wipe off as much of that as I can. Then I use some Mobile Synthetic 1 grease on it. Some people use lithium grease here. That will work too. Mobile Synthetic 1 grease is a bit thicker, and I put a bead around the bearing area of the hub. This is the area where the spacers are going to go. This will help hold the spacers in place when you put the wheel on too. And this grease will also work its way into the bearings of the wheel. Now I'll put a light coat of this synthetic Mobile 1 grease on each of the spacers. I'm only putting it on one side of the spacer. That's the side that's going to go into the wheel hub. Now step 17 is install the wheel with the front axle bolt and lightly tighten. We're not going to torque it yet. Notice I put a little bit of this grease in the area where the axle head is going to go, just to help keep corrosion down and help that axle to go into place nicely. Some people put their foot up under the tire here. I didn't have a lot of space behind me, so I couldn't really do that. And getting this thread started is really important. You don't want to force it. I use a rubber mallet here because there's a little bit of an edge that gets caught on the other side. And I want to get that thread started nice and smooth. Do not want to cross thread here because then you would be in a world of trouble. So I'm feeling this thread go on, and I unscrew it just a little bit. I want to make sure it goes on smooth. And now I'm feeling it going on smooth, and I'm going to thread this front axle all the way in here. Again, I'm not going to tighten it real tight. I just want to get this axle bolt all the way in position. Step 18, mount both the front brake assemblies, and don't torque them yet either. Just get them all the way into a lightly tight position. I use Loctite 222 for safety on these front bolts. I don't like the red Loctite. The blue Loctite is still a little strong, and this 222 is a light Loctite, so it will hold the bolts, but when you release them, it will not hold them like crazy like that red Loctite does. And these just slip right on. Again, hand tighten each one of these bolts. You don't want to cross thread any of this. Get them hand tightened and started, and then you can tighten them in all the way. Now I'm torquing each one of these to 25 foot-pounds using a 12mm socket. And now I'm torquing the front axle bolt to 80 foot-pounds. Heard a nice click there. Now I'm going to torque the front axle clamp bolt to 15 foot-pounds. Step 22 is to take the bike off the stands. Remove that front stand first. Make sure your kickstand's down, and then remove the rear stand. I hope you like this video. Please like it and subscribe, and click on the bell so you'll get notified for when the next video comes out.